So we already learned how to do formulas using your Excel and being able to deliver an output for your Excel sheet and being able to manipulate the data. So we learned how to calculate the sum and how to calculate the average for a certain range of cells in your worksheet. And we learned that you go to the formula bar if you want and you hit the equal sign and you can say, let's say you have in E5 number 1, in G5 you have number 6. Now let's say you want to sum these two numbers. You go to the formula bar and hit the equal sign, or in the cell itself that you already located over here, you can hit the equal sign and you can choose cell 1, in this case E5, and you hit shift and the equal sign to give you the plus sign. So you hit the plus sign, or on your numpad you can click on the plus sign right away. So you are saying add cell E5 with cell G6. I can choose with the left click on the mouse G6 or G5 in this case. So you have the formula in I6. He is trying to add the numerical value in cell E5 and G5 and give you the result in cell I6. I'll hit enter. Now that's the value of adding E5 with G5 values, which is 1 plus 6, that's 7, which makes sense. And here you can revise the formula one more time and you can see there's a color code. E5 represented by blue, that represents this number. G5 represented by red, that represents this number, and the output value would be here. You can do the same thing with subtraction, you can do the same thing multiplication, you can do the same thing with division, and so on. Now let's learn about arrays and how to create arrays formula, which is a little more complicated than having a linear addition or subtraction or division or multiplication. Let's go to sheet 1 over here. So you have two arrays. You have arrays of data from F4 all the way to G6, which is this array. And you have another array which is from G4 all the way to K6. Now what if I want to multiply this group of data with this group of data in the simplest form and being able to display them in a certain area in my sheet? What I do, I have two ways. Either I will select the arrays I want and do the multiplication. I can write the equation for that, or I can name this array a certain name and this array a second name. Then I write the equation of multiplying the first name with the second name and it will give me the result wherever I decide to have the result being displayed. Let's learn the first way first. So we can say I want, for example, to multiply this array by this array. Like you multiply 1 by 7, 4 by 10, 2 by 8, 5 by 11, and so on. You don't want to do it manually in a linear way like cell by cell. You want to be able to do it in one shot. So I can imagine to have the output to be displayed over here, let's say. So you can click the first cell where you want your data to be displayed and you hit the equal sign. Now you want to start to write your formula. In this case, either you write, you can go back and see where is your array starting and finishing. You can say F4 to G6. So I can say F4. You see he highlighted for you number 1 for the cell F4 to, like the two dots above each other. That array goes all the way to G6. And that's the array you want. You need that to be multiplied by J4. So I can say J4 all the way to K6. So he take that diagonal from J4 all the way to K6. Then he highlight the data that's been covered by that range. You are creating a range in this case. So the multiplication for those two cells would be, you can see this is the resulted array in this case. 1 by 7 is 7, 4 by 10 is 40, 2 by 8 is 16, 5 by 11 is 55, and so on. An easier or a quicker way to do that, so that's one way, quicker way, You can hit the equal sign whenever you want, wherever you want your data to be displayed, equal sign. Take my mouse and left click and drag until I cover the data range I want. That's the first range I want. What I want to do with that, let's say I want to divide that by the second range, which is here. I can, when I hit divide sign, then I can go to the second range on my left mouse button and select my second range. In this case, I hit enter. Then you got the result of dividing each component with the of array 1 with the component corresponding in the second array, and you have the value being displayed. The downside, I would say, for this kind of calculation, when you highlight on a certain cell, he's not telling you what happened in the equation formula. Usually you can see the formula, what happened. Like in this case, we divided 4 over 10, and that's 0.4. He's not telling you it is G4 over K4. He's just giving you the value and telling you range 1 is been divided over range 2, and those are your results. But that's fair enough. That could be handy at certain point within your project or within your worksheet. Now, what if we want to give this array a name, second array a name? So life will be easy. Let's say we have hundreds of arrays through our worksheet and we want to be able to differentiate which data we're handling in this case. So I can go and select the array that I want to give a name for. So in this case, I can go to the name box over here. And after you see the cell code F4 in this case highlighted, I can call the array whatever I want. In this case, I want to call it array underscore 1. Just be careful, don't say array then space 1, it will give you an error. Just say array underscore 1. It's a case sensitive naming thing. Then you hit enter. Now that is called array 1. The whole data range is called array 1. Let's go to second array. These data, I want to give them a different name, which is array 2. I can type in array, let's keep it consistent, capital letter, array underscore 2, and that's array 2 for this range. Now I know this is array 1, so you can see when you select any of those data, he will not tell you anything in the name box, but when you highlight that data, he tell you that's array 1. When you highlight those data, he tell you array 2. But if you highlight on a single data input, he's just giving you the cell code or the cell number. Now, if we want to create a formula and we want to do a certain calculation for those two arrays, equal, I can start to type in the name of the array, array underscore 1, and you can start to see the suggestion for whatever arrays you have in your sheet. I need it to be multiplied by array 2, hit enter, array 1, 1 by 7, 7, 4 by 10, 40, and so on. So that's the result of the multiplication of array 1 multiplied by array 2. As simple as that.